It's important to learn our history so that we will know who we are and where we came from.
This is our family's cemetery. It was purchased in 1896 from the Old Dominion Land Company. My name is Wanda Tucker, and I am a member of the Tucker family and the William Tucker 1624 Society. Over the years, we learned from our cousin, Thelma Green, that we were descendants of two of the earliest arrivals in Hampton, Virginia in 1619. We did not know that our ancestral lineage was in Angola. We did not know at that time about the white lion. So over the years, we continued to learn more and more history about our family, about our ancestral lines, and our ancestors. So historians and scientists and researchers have done a phenomenal job of continuing to educate our family as well as pass this information on about the earliest of the enslaved Angolans that arrived here at Point Comfort in 1619. Every year in August, we have an event here at the cemetery in which we commemorate the earliest arrival of the Angolans in 1619 at Point Comfort. That particular, the fourth weekend in August, is also the weekend of the African Landing Day weekend. And so we are in partnership with the Hampton Convention Center, Fort Monroe 1619 Project, and other organizations that want to continue to preserve this rich history. I believe that this history, not just our family's history, but the history of 1619 needs to be in the curriculum as a part of Virginia's history, along with the indigenous and the early settlers. It's a missing part of the curriculum. I believe it needs to be there to change the narrative so that those early history is a more balanced narrative of and share the narratives of America's history.
The contraband history, what happened back during the Civil War, 1861. There were 3 enslaved men who escaped their Confederate slaveholder. Their names were Frank Baker, James Townsend, and Shepard Mallory. When they got here, they were asked questions. General Butler realized that he could get information from them because they were from the other side, from the Confederate side. My name is Pamela Holly, and I'm related to this historical landmark through my great-great-grandfather, Robert Langley Brooks. By them being considered property by the slaveholders, and Virginia had seceded from the Union, he really didn't have to go by law, which was Fugitive Slave Act, since they were no longer part of the Union. And he decided that he was not going to send them back to the slaveholder. He gained information from them and they stayed. As the news spread, people just started coming from all over the place. My legacy has moved forward ever since I first found out about it. There was a family reunion and this information about our ancestor, Robert Langley Brooks, was passed on. Over the years, we just continued passing the information to our different generations. I continue to advocate and protect my history through being involved with the Contraband Historical Society. And we have commemorations. May 24th is the Contraband Decision Commemoration Day usually. It's important to learn our history so that we will know who we are and where we came from.
You want me to tell the truth?
Bayshore Beach. That was the only beach on the peninsula for African Americans. All my generation children from 80 to 90 to 70 years old went to Bayshore Beach because there was no other beach to go to. It had an amusement park, roller coaster, Ferris wheel, all the amenities that the white beaches had. However, it was only for African Americans. My name is Helen Phillips Pitts. And my relation to the Bayshore Beach is through my grandfather. My grandfather's name was John Mallory Phillips. He was one of several gentlemen that got together in 1898 and bought property at Buckrow Beach, and they made an African-American beach. I feel that I've kept the legacy alive with Bayshore Beach by honoring my grandfather and passing on the information about him starting Bayshore and them doing it as something for the community, not for just themselves. And I tell anyone that will listen to me, basically.
Charlie and Maggie Jones were the first family to move in to Aberdeen Gardens on November the 1st, 1937. My name is Margaret Wilson. I am a member of the original family. I am now the president of the Historical Foundation of Aberdeen Gardens. It's important for us to learn our history, especially here in Hampton, since this is one of the first communities of its kind in the United States. We can't let this little community just not be here and people don't know why we are here and the history behind them building and how we got here.
So it's important that our stories are told because a lot of people do not know about it. I tell my friends, I tell people from school when I was going to Bethel, Aberdeen, they know it as a community where they play, but they don't know the deep-rooted history behind it.
We invite people in to come see who we are. Well, that's why we have the events we have. One of the favorite ones is the annual fish fry. And people come and they sit, instead of buying the food and leaving, they sit under the tent and talk about how they grew up here, or they ask folks who live here, and then they become engaged in what we do, the things that we try to do to keep the community alive. The community became a family. And in most cases now we have a lot of new people, but those of us who grew up here are still a family.